Hi, I'm Nombuyiselo Nkalanga. I'm a project coordinator for the VAPOR project. Welcome to our presentation. This is the second part of The Voice Needs a Teeth to Have a Bite. I'll be presenting about the key processes for participatory learning and action, building social accountability in health systems. So I'll talk about the background of the project, the process, reflections on the process, the strengths and limitations, and also I will share with you what's next on the project. So we have realized that the district health system has little information to set priorities and develop systems in primary health care. So the purpose and aims of the VAPOR project is to address exclusion from health systems by connecting service users and providers to generate and act on research evidence, and to embed a system of knowledge production and exchange via partnerships approach. So the main contribution and commitment of the process is to address two interconnected issues. The first one is lack of verifiable information on the health of people excluded from access to health systems. And the second one is utilization of evidence by district and community health systems. So in this process, we have 4 action learning cycles, and those action learning cycles follows 3 steps. The first one is that we observe birth data levels and causes of death, community engagement, and knowledge. And the second step, we analyze and plan with using stakeholder engagement to understand mutual concerns and contexts, and also plan changes. And the last step, we act on our evidence, generate communicative power, and learn together. So our formative work started in 2013 to 2017, whereby we're doing piloting in 3 villages. The topics were researcher directed. And from 2017 to 2019, we had 24 participants, which were reconvened. From then, we had community directed recruitment of 48 participants. The community also nominated topics. We had a series of workshops, and the aim of those workshops was to build a voice. So our current work from 2020 up to date, the key focus is on the SHWs with the Department of Health. And then in 2021, we had 15 SHWs and community mentors trained on community engagement. In 2022, we had 50 SHWs trained, and this extended beyond the Agincourt site. So in those workshops, we used PAR techniques, and we have 4 techniques that we were using. The first one is a problem tree. We use the problem tree to explore the causes and impact of the problem. And the second one is Venn diagramming. It is used to identify key players or the key stakeholders that are involved in the identified problem. The third one is action pathways. It is used to generate an action plan aimed at addressing the identified problems. And the last one is photo voice. It is used to visually capture lived experiences, as you can see on those pictures on the side there. The first technique is a problem tree. On the roots part of the tree, we have political system and values. These are the root causes, and some of the examples that were identified identified is poverty, unemployment, and poor planning. And on the STEM level, we have mediating processes, and these are the structural causes. Some of the examples which were shared are stress, peer pressure, influence of media, lack of information, lack of policing. And then on the branches, we have environmental causes, and this includes behavioral impacts. Some of the examples that were shared is drunk driving, gambling, violence, criminal activity, prostitution, and lack of respect. And a lot of examples were listed also here. And we have health impacts and environmental causes or immediate causes, under immediate causes. Some of the examples that were listed are stroke, TB, unplanned pregnancy, malnutrition, diabetes, mental illness, and a lot of examples were also listed here. And then we have social impacts, which are the main problems. The examples that were listed here is crime, poverty, lack of education, accidents, violence, imprisonment, family breakdown, unemployment. So the second technique that was used is the Venn diagramming, whereby a list of actors or institutions that take part in the identified problem were also listed, and we used different sizes of circles, whereby a larger circle represent the most important actors or institutions, and the middle circle represent important actors or institutions, and the small one represent less important actors or institutions. So also here we have circles that connect with each other. This shows that these institutions or actors, they've got a relationship with each other. They work together. So this was used to identify the actors, institutions, and how they connect with each other. So on technique 3, this is whereby we have an action pathway, and this action pathway is the one for the identified problem is alcohol and drug abuse, and the overall goal is to reduce the rate of alcohol and drug abuse. So the plan here is that an action was nominated. The name of the action here is to reduce opening hours in taverns, ban sale of alcohol to children. And the actor that was nominated is the police. And then we also have when to do this. It was mentioned that it will be done daily. We also have the monitoring process here. How are we going to monitor this action? And this that we'll see this that is happening when taverns close earlier. So the second one is to ensure drug dealers are arrested. So the ones that are acting here are indonors, police, and CDF. When it's weekly monitoring, we will use reports of people arrested to see that these things are happening. And the third one is to give long sentences to drug dealers. The ones who will act here are magistrate when consistent and as necessary. So the monitoring process is the recorded sentences. And another one is organized awareness campaigns working with Indona. The actor is a counselor when it will be done weekly. The monitoring process, it will be improved. It improved the relationships between leaders. We will see that these things are happening when we will see that the relationships between leaders are improved. So this is the action pathway, followed by other actions that were also nominated. It's the same process. So the fourth technique is the photo voice technique, whereby pictures were taken of workshops that were conducted. These are two different groups, and one person was facilitating the workshop. We were using the photo voice tool. Now I'll move on to the reflections on the process. So some of the reflections include understanding community challenges, health and social burdens. The general low key players, for example, traditional leaders, a shift focus for action to local level. It goes on to notable shift in discussions and outputs, timeliness and feasible action agenda, improved self-efficacy, for example, public speaking skills. So here, the participants that were trained, they really mentioned that some of their public speaking skills have really improved or greatly improved, and analysis and recognition of community voice. So we spoke to one of the participants here on the code, the site. So they mentioned that there have been a lot of service delivery protests in the communities, but they did not accomplish much. Everyone realized that it is time to shift our ways of thinking and initiate dialogue, unite and collaborate, and create sustainable partnerships to solve community problems. So this really proves that there have been an improvement in public speaking, analysis, and recognition of community voice. Furthermore, with the reflections on the process, facilitating and stimulating different thinking. It goes on to building partnerships, linking people with different departments at local level, build collective power, community assets, and affirmative approach, managing expectations and disruptions. I will talk about the strengths and limitations. This includes approach in this setting proved to contribute to community empowerment and build trust. Approach also identified the importance of learning facilitation without raising expectations. Sensitive community participation takes time, for example, time-bound project, enabling and not influencing the marginalized voices, continuous reflection on community representation, for example, gender balance. Furthermore, to having people from different backgrounds in a group is both a strength and also a limitation. So now I'll talk about what's next on the project. So there is adequate evidence that the process has potential to contribute towards building strong partnerships, trust, and collaborations between communities. And those are service beneficiaries, and authorities, those are service providers. Therefore, embedding the process within existing infrastructures like the Agincourt HDSS or the Department of Health structures, which serves as support to the government's health systems, is important in addressing health challenges faced by communities. Thank you so much.